All right. Hey, everybody. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. My name is Sharif. You might know me as...
Блин, я не знал, что Шарфик ранит Golden Axe.
I've escaped the awful block. Here we are on a Monday. I'm very excited about this. This is
Так,
Axe Battler.
вот ли у нас в этот момент ставочки?
Game Gear. Long live the Game Gear. This is by far the most difficult game I've ever run at a GDQ, or in fact any marathon ever. So to help with commentary, I have my friend and fellow runner. I have Jay Question Mark. How you doing, Jay?
I am doing excellent. I'm really excited to hang out and talk about this game. And
Да, Даст уже прошли, вот буквально только что предыдущей игрой. Скамочки. Кстати, да, откройте скамочки, пожалуйста.
Every single random encounter has a small set of flashing lights. So if you're very sensitive to that, I would suggest maybe this is not the run for you. Also, when we use magic, there's a huge amount of flashing lights, and I will warn when that happens, so every human being should look away from that part.
О, поехали, ребят. Так. Миллисекунды на тайм. Миллисекунды. Я как бы четкий пацан, да.
If that's good with everybody. All right. So, yeah, so time starts when I hit new game here. So we'll just count down and get started here. 3, 2, 1, go.
Победит Zero, ребята.
And yeah, it's a cutscene immediately.
Итак, поехали.
Yeah, I love that it starts with not just a cutscene, but pitch black, people shouting in confusion.
Так, у нас тут игра по Golden Axe.
Yeah,
на Game Gear.
There's a fair amount of mashing in this game, but you can just hold down one button on the Game Gear, which only has 3 buttons, or 1, 2, and start. Hold down one and slam your finger on the other, just to progress through text as quickly as possible. So it keeps it scrolling fast and lets you move through fast. So as you can
Вообще,
see,
хоть я и серию Golden Axe очень люблю, но вот
Dragon Quest e-game until
об этой игре давно не знал.
Almost reminiscent of Zelda 2 for a second, except it's the fights are the biggest source of randomness in this. So enemy behavior is always the exact same if you do the exact same thing. And that's true for the levels that we're going to see in a few, or the dungeons, and the random encounters. But when I say the exact same if you do the exact same thing, down to the pixel.
Третий Golden Axe, когда я это делал, и являюсь модератором на лидерборде в speedrun.com. Так что, если вам нравится третий Golden Axe, можете принять участие. Я посмотрю ран и приму.
There's not a whole lot of attack options. We've got Axe Battler, who's using his sword. That's right, it's a sword.
It's a sword.
For Axe Battler. I don't know what to say to that.
Так, все в порядке?
We apologize, I guess, I don't know.
Не знаю, что произошло.
Yeah, so,
так, ребят, все в порядке? Странно. Странно очень что-то произошло, потому что я буквально ничего не почувствовал. Ну ладно. О чем я говорил? Что я спидранил третий Golden Axe, я люблю эту серию и являюсь модератором третьего Golden Axe на speedrun.com, так что если вы вдруг хотите принять участие в спидране третьего Golden Axe, можете закинуть ран, я его посмотрел. Да, доброе утро всем, кто только проснулся, только сейчас открывает глазки. Разминулись, подтянулись, так сказать.
One telling you that you won, and one telling you how many magic faces you got, which are both your magic power and your currency. So there is a small amount of balancing that, hopefully not too much, but there are a couple places where it's very, very helpful to have magic. So yeah. Bridges always have an encounter. It is forced, it happens every time. So if you have extra health and you can afford to take a hit, you lose the fight and instantly.
В принципе, во второй Зельде деньги, магия. На мостах всегда происходят энкаунтеры с противником. Это вот прям
Yeah, so for
скриптованно
whatever reason,
прописано.
this town that you have to go over a bridge and then to another bridge and then destroy a mountain with a bomb is the village.
It's the size of you, like, yeah, but Axe is the same size of the mountain as well. It's a very large bomb, and Axe is a very large man.
So Sharif just got the first power, which you get from the training hall here. It lets you do the high jump, which is, I want to say it's the
Could you
most
show it off,
important
right?
one in the game, but they're all really kind of the most important one in the game. You can jump so satisfyingly high.
Just there. And just jump off screen completely. Yeah, that's one of the absolutely required ones. Anytime I'm too low level to fight skeletons. Fighting skeletons at this level is not worth my time. So I just don't even bother. That's why I'm taking hits on them.
This game typically gets run 100%, especially for marathons, because it forces you to go collect everything.
Раннер пропускает
There are a lot
битву
of
со
things that you could
скелетом,
save
потому
time
что
by not
разница в
getting,
уровне
but
очень
make the
большая.
game miserable to run. So
Так что это
100%
не стоит своего
is
времени.
absolutely the way to play.
Yep. We're 100% truthers for sure.
Oh yeah.
The 90% runs about 2 minutes faster, just about. You save about 2 minutes.
It really doesn't save that much time for an incredible amount of risk. So if somehow someone out there, I really hope so, is convinced to start playing this game, please run 100%. Make it nice for yourself. All right, so we're getting on to the second town here of Turtle Village. This is the village with the talking axe beak that we're not even going to see on the screen. Which
Yeah,
makes me real sad.
you can see him there on the right hand side. You just saw him for a second there.
But here we need to go get an attack that actually does extra damage, because we're going to come up against some enemies. So Axe Battler has 3 health. Normal attacks do a half bar of damage. But these techniques that you learn in these training halls do a full bar of damage. So there are a few enemies that have full bars of health in the dungeons, and having an extra way to attack them and do more damage is real important.
Yes. I wanted to give a quick shout out to our trainer.
Тут вот и есть атаки, которые наносят целую полоску ХП,
I should have healed.
то есть часть вот
Just
этого.
realized I should definitely heal.
Единичку ХП.
He's at every single training ground. In my
И
head,
в
my
некоторых
headcanon is
подземельях
the same guy for everyone, so he's just beating us
у
there.
врагов больше, чем одно деление ХП, поэтому специфические атаки использовать очень
So at the
важно.
beginning, he asks you like, "Yo, do you want to fight this guy to get an ability?" And you go yes or no. If you say no, he calls you a wimp. And then if you say yes and you
Также ран происходит в категории 100%. Это означает, что раннер зачистит всю игру.
And it's worthless chump, like that's verbatim what he calls you. I am not making any part of that up.
It's so good. Just no respect. So we've
That's
got
my single favorite thing to do in the whole game right there. Is just walk up to a barbarian, one shot him, and then walk away. Very businesslike. All right.
Yeah, so we've got the second attack. We've got a place to go, which is this tower out on the peninsula, and it is complete with statues that come to life and ghosts and hedgehogs, which
I'm
are apparently
sorry.
equally threatening.
I'm so sorry for the
У
sound.
нас вот тут подземелье целое.
Noise they make.
Yeah, I call them banshees.
So you have to defeat
Раннер извиняется за
that,
призраков, то, что они так
elevator to
противно
spawn.
кричат.
Theoretically, you could defeat more of them, but
Но
it's
мы
not
ничего
easy.
против
You
этого
just
иметь не
jump in the
будем.
corner till you get it to trigger. Yeah, so here we need to collect a crystal. I don't remember that the game even makes it clear why you need the crystal, but we know we need the crystal. These little jumping guys are the absolute worst. You gotta try to either get past them and take some damage. Honestly, taking damage in this
Очень
area isn't
бесячие
necessarily the worst
противники.
thing, 'cause
It's
you warp back to the last town you were in when you lose all your health. So as long as you
If I'm
get
doing,
what you need,
Они вот
you get
бросают
back to town
свои
really
снаряды
fast by
под
having a
очень
very small
противным углом, и у них большой
getting
хитбокс.
lucky. Every once in a while you can walk
И
all the way back to town
если
without encountering
мы теряем
enemies.
все ХП, мы возвращаемся в последний город, в котором мы побывали.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I've actually routed this death warp into the run. So when I'm doing PB attempts, I wouldn't have what would have happened is I wouldn't have healed there. I was actually starting to do PB attempt strats, and I realized, wait, no, I don't actually want to die here. So I would have just gone over and just trusted myself not to take free hits in that dungeon, which would have happened as it turns out, but that's neither here nor there.
So now that we have the crystal, we're gonna huck the crystal into the sea, and
And naturally,
that makes
a
this
giant turtle.
turtle excited and show up, I guess. And it turns out the exact amount of time it takes Axe Battler to run across this turtle, no matter how slow or fast that is the amount of time it takes to get to the new continent that we're going to. So, very helpful stuff. The enemies here are really weird. I don't know why there are dragons. I think this is even the only part of the game with dragons.
Yep, and you can one-shot the dragons. Also, that dragon has never spawned there ever. And I've done hundreds of runs of this game.
Yeah, pausing in certain
Довольно
spots
странные
makes
драконы.
spawns
Во-первых, они появляются
more
только в этой локации, и
So
они
basically, the towns
ваншотятся
and
от
Marrow
удара меча.
borders on the desert of death.
Обычно драконы сильные,
It's
прям
kind of
босс-файты с
skill
ними
that
случаются, а
honestly
тут
isn't
они
super
просто
useful,
рядовые мобы.
But because it's 100%, we gotta get it. And
Get it anyway.
there are a couple spots where it does come in really handy.
I use it against the Death Adder.
Yeah,
Death Adder's plural, yes, you heard that right, by the way.
hitbox on that upper swing that we have right now is just real awkward and doesn't make any sense. Later on, we'll be getting the super swing, which is like a not awful version of it. So, looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, it's rough. We're actually on our way to get Super Swing right now. This is the area with the highest concentration of spawns in the whole game.
Yep.
Neo Amazons.
There's an NPC somewhere that refers to this as the Desert of Death, and this is the place where you're gonna see all the encounters.
Здесь
I say.
локация с самым наибольшим количеством спаунов,
That was one encounter. I've gotten 9 encounters.
то
there
есть
before.
рандом
Yeah, you
энкаунтеров.
encounter almost every step.
И
That's
ранее очень удивился насчет того, что тут был всего один рандом энкаунтер. Он говорит, что обычно их бывает по 9 штук в этой локации.
so for whatever
This one's come a
reason,
long way.
there are enemies on the other side of that pyramid that are only there, but you don't have to go there. In fact, you need to go get the key, or you can't get into the next dungeon.
Oh, and that area is horrendous. It's one of the worst areas in the whole game.
So, more training,
was-
this time for the power swing, which is where the combat in the game finally gets good. It has a good hitbox, it's not horrible to execute. And here, we've seen some of the enemies prior to now. You got your animated skeletons, your Amazons, your barbarians. But now we're in the land of bad bras.
Shout out to Bad Bra. It is short for brother, so it's like bruh. I can't. I don't have enough vases. All right, we're just gonna rock and roll then. Do I take a death? I don't even know what to do here. Everything's all messed up. I'll just grind for some vases.
Just walk through the forest, get a couple. So there are enemies coming up in the next area that I'm assuming Sharif is going to use magic on because it makes it a million times easier to get past.
Yeah, we were warned because using magic is not good on the eyes at all. And I use thunder in this area, so instead of flashing green, it flashes white. It's actually so much worse. I did change it. Okay, we're good to go.
Yeah, they were not
We'll
shy
get
about
one
the
more so we
flashing
can
lights in this game.
Мы тут чуть-чуть пофармили магию.
Won't let you talk about the enemy.
Здесь, как и в обычном Golden Axe, магия собирается с помощью бутылочек.
Yeah, it does. Wow, you can't say the word bro. That's good. All right, we'll
И
call
вот
it
мы
bad, bro.
бутылочки получаем после сражений.
So this cave, definitely best to go in here with enough magic to get past a couple pink hedgehogs. They're not Amy, but I don't know. I don't know what your mileage is on liking or disliking Sonic characters. You're playing a Game Gear game, so I'm assuming you don't want to murder.
I'm familiar with at least some Sonic for sure. I definitely grew up with Sonic. Oh yeah, we can talk about how we. So both of us owned a Game Gear as kids, and both of us had this game as kids. I'm running it on my cartridge that I had as a kid. Which is unfortunate because this game is really hard. It's a really hard game casually if you're like good at games, and I was a small child and was not good at games. So it was challenging for me. I never beat it. I beat it as an adult.
I did beat this as a kid. I had like
Ну, вообще, вот
You're a
эта
stronger person.
nostalgia for
игра, она тяжелая.
For a game that can be
Вот у
completed
Райнера
in an hour with
есть ребенок, который не очень хорош в играх, и вот игра оказалась довольно
It's
довольно
just
непростой.
so terrible.
Yeah,
It's
it
terrible,
lasts
terrible.
forever.
It's happening again for the
Oh dear.
This is like purely for safety.
Yeah, this is one of the easiest places to die in the game. It is a weirdly dangerous dungeon. I think part of it just comes down to the randomness of some of where these enemies drop their attacks.
Вот здесь
So
вот
here-
прям очень сложное место, в котором очень легко умереть.
Luckily, the spider never respawns. This is just a hard jump and I'm nervous.
Yeah, there are a couple. Oh no.
All right, it's fine. This is one of the places.
А, как же сейчас раненого не повезло.
My PB in this game is a 23:35. My estimate's a 35-minute time, and my sum of best is 15:30, an 18:35. So RNG. Oh well, we'll just keep going. No biggie.
Yeah, a death there is not.
Ну, как бы тут переживать за коленные чашечки не стоит, потому что тут раннер взял время с запасом, я думаю, ему хватит. Предусмотрительно весьма сделал.
But if you die in any of the last 4 dungeons, you go back to the second to last town and have to do them all again. And some of them have like instant death drop-offs. We'll get to there. It'll be fun.
Since we're just retreading things we've already seen, let's pick it over for some donations.
Yeah, absolutely. You got it. We've got $10 from Chainsaw Nicorn that says, "Hey Sharif, wait, this isn't the awful block. You must have been let out of there by accident. Anyway, what do you say if you get hit by a golden axe? Ow." And they spelled it A-U, like the elemental.
Тут на донатах такой каламбур прислали, что...
So much for that donation.
Типа...
And I did request onomatopoeia.
Погодите, это же... Awful Block. Как игра из Awful Block попала в обычные раны? Типа, это было случайно, но, типа... По-английски, типа, accident со словом axe. Ну, вы поняли, короче, да? Типа...
I don't think Out of Sync Samurai fully understands what onomatopoeia was, if that's what they were going for. Chat, onomatopoeia is a word that sounds like it's like when you say it, like boom. Or blammo, a great example. So if you have your own favorite onomatopoeia, bring them on in. They're endorsed by the runner and commentator.
Absolutely. Lemons as well is another one.
Lemons, yes, absolutely.
My power surge just now, if anybody was confused.
Да, тут прикольно, игра текст сокращает. Тут вот это вот моба Bad Bra. Ранее назвали Bad Bra. Вот. Но, по-моему, Акс, типа, так его и зовут, двумя буквами, если не ошибаюсь.
I'm out of flashing lights now, so this is all that can happen.
So we're getting real close to getting out of this dungeon. This is where the game kind of starts ramping up, because after this one, you have to actually make your way to the next town. So, you know, prior to now, we're basically right there once we're done, or we go straight back to town, it's no big deal. But here you have to get to the next town. Once you enter a town, you have that as your continue point, which is wonderful, so you don't have to worry about if you die, you go way back, there's none of that. The exception being the final town in the Japanese version. If you don't go to the password hut, it doesn't care that you've been in that
Doesn't
town.
save.
Yeah.
Yeah, very weird.
Every other town,
The
fine, but
yeah, the Japanese version does save time because for every encounter you get only 1 text box instead of 2, and there's just a lot less text boxes in general.
yeah. So the next town is Brookhill. Yeah, all these towns have names. I don't know why. Because they're all just very generic. We've got Firewood Village, Turtle Village, Southwood, now Brookhill.
Southwood, yeah, classic Southwood.
Brookhill has the compass, which is... Ooh, Sharif will be grabbing in a moment from that soldier right smack dab in the middle of town. But first is training. Gotta learn the new stuff. And this has maybe the coolest ability in the game. I love that the knights just walk up and won't hit you if you won't approach them. It's...
Yeah, the Master Chief just walks up and just whips, and that's it.
So tackle lets you run and attack, and it's
Тут
really
ранее поборолся с мастером Чифом.
This guy has a compass, and without the compass, if you clear the
Это
next
как такой
dungeon,
камео в
it
Golden
just spits you
Axe.
back out where you started, and it is very, very unpleasant.
It's actually where I quit the game as a kid. I'm just gonna take this death. I'm just gonna...
It'll be faster than going to the end.
I didn't have enough bases to get through it. Maybe I did. Nah, it's fine.
Ну вообще, да, тут рыцарь очень прям похож на мастера
It's okay.
Чифа.
Joke's on y'all. I've already changed the batteries out of my Game Gear twice in this run.
It is worth mentioning just because this is.
Ранее тоже сказал, что он в своем геймгире поменял 2 раза батарейки во время рана. Весьма жгучая вещь. По-моему, да, даже батарейк больше требует, чем обычный геймбой.
Just want to make sure to spread the good word of the Game Gear while we're all here.
Long live the Game Gear, absolutely. I also, yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay. Long live the Game Gear.
So here's the
This forest
forest.
place sucks.
This one is just, it's mean. I hate this area. It's so, everything's dropping in on you and coming from weird angles, and it's got the marching stone statue guys that can do 2 damage and just attack relentlessly. But Sharif is in here making this look absolutely easy.
Yeah, you saw what tackle does. You saw me run and then like shoulder check that bad boy. And that's the only enemy in the game that does a full bar of damage? Is there any other enemy in the game that does a full bar of damage?
No, I don't
Not that I
think
can
so.
remember.
Yeah. Ooh, nice.
That was some good bad RNG.
Ну, вообще, хоть и технологичнее, но у моего друга был Game Boy Advance первого поколения на батарейках. Это еще тот гемор было их менять.
Because as we're going to find out in a few minutes, eagles love fruit.
Eagles love fruit. This is a well-known thing, right? It's just like a nebulous amount of fruit. What is this? This is some very strange RNG.
Yeah, it's nice that you're
Do it
getting
again.
so much right here.
Very good. So yeah, this is another routed-in death world.
Yeah.
All you do is you lose all your bases, and then you go back to the town you were in. But we want to go back to the town we were in, so.
I'm a lot worse at the forest, so it's a lot easier for me to use
Тут
that.
эти дезварпы начинаются.
Nothing left when I get there.
That was unusually smooth, is what I'll say. That was too smooth.
One of the things that really is a big deal with running this game is balancing the when should I take a hit and when should I not.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the fights take so long that it's like, well, I could just take a hit and it's over instantly. But then I have to go through this dungeon. I'm going to be very sad.
Yeah, and you have to be like confident in your abilities, which is not something I'm terribly familiar with.
Но учитывая, сколько у него тут
For what I usually
различных геймерских примочек, у него буквально за спиной, смотрите, контроллеров там много игр в шкафчиках. Я думаю, да, он играет с геймгира, вот раз такой коллекционер.
And then in late game, that's going to be mostly just the Neonites, and then later also the Death Adders if I have enough health.
Yeah, the Death Adders, it's worth noting when you first encounter them, because that's going to be coming up after
Fairly soon.
the next dungeon after this one. The Death Adders instantly kill you until you get a certain item, and that's why 100% is the best. So, Axe Battle has some fruit, holds it up in the air, an eagle grabs him, and where do eagles take you? They take you...
Тут пояснять, что последний босс, Дезадер, убивает с одного удара, если у персонажа нет определенной вещи.
That's my favorite.
It can't be the same eagle, right? Like, I've wondered about that.
I don't know. It's definitely a different one in my head. We're doing the pacifist route here.
О, кстати, тут как в Golden Axe сейчас
And there's
на
this
орле
action,
катаются.
who's gonna tackle them all away.
They're fearsome.
Прикольно.
They're fearsome. You don't want to mess with those guys. All right, so now we can get Death Adders, which is awful.
Yep.
This is the final area of the game. So we're here's the Neonite. Yeah, let's just take a hit.
Yeah, the nice / bad thing about this is it doesn't really matter how much health you have, because if you encounter a Death Adder and it goes wrong, if you have full health,
You're dead.
it's the same.
No dadder, no dadder, no dadder.
Oh, that's a dadder.
Say hi to the dadders, everybody.
Yeah, these.
All right, so that's the perfect strat for that.
It's worth noting for people familiar with Golden Axe, in the Japanese version.
А, это не
they're not
последний
named
босс,
Death
извините
Adder
за
Adder,
ложную
they're
наводку.
Death Adder Junior.
Офигеть, здесь это просто обычным опытом.
It's not
implies
just the
that
Death Adder. We're not just bodying the Death Adder over and over again.
theoretically Death Adders just had a lot of kids.
Но я имел в виду,
But not in town. They're not welcome.
как и в других сериях
I have
игр.
to kill another dadder here.
Точнее, в других играх серий.
But this one, you get the coolest looking and most useless attack in the whole game.
Yes. So yeah, so we're at the town that any percent skips. So we skip this attack, which this guy gives you a whole spiel about attack you'll never ever use. It's Link's down stab. That's all it is. I appreciate all the people in chat who recognize the Zelda 2. Like, there's a lot of Zelda 2 stuff in here for sure.
Mm-hmm. Though the downstab attack is also in the Golden Axe arcade game.
Yes, it is. It is also in the Golden Axe arcade game, but I like calling it Link's downstab. But you're absolutely right. Oh no. I'm changing my strat. I'm changing my strat. No.
Но вообще, на самом деле...
I don't know why I panicked there. It doesn't matter. We're
Блин,
just going back to the town.
ранее случайно подох. Но вообще, это интересная вещь, когда вот, типа, под другими франшизами делают игры похожие.
Absolutely.
Ну, типа же, в то время ожидай игру от Nintendo на платформе Sega, да, поэтому ну, просто сделали похожую игру на Зельду и назвали Golden Axe, а чё нет?
While they're coming down on you, there is a good couple frames where their hitbox is exposed and you can just chop them out of the air, and it's absolutely absurd. So there's
I'll
an
try to show
old...
off the downstab at some point, just as we can.
There is an old guy in town who mentions that he has lost his magic stone, and instead of bringing it back to him,
Весьма противный скелет, вот, прыгает
push it
он.
out of the middle of nowhere, and it now suddenly, for whatever reason, makes you immune to datters one-hitting you.
There you go. I want to also shout out Brosendra in chat, who definitely has a hot pink skeleton inside him for sure. I just needed people to know that. That's it. That's the whole thing.
So this one, there's 2 dungeons, one in the middle of this overworld segment, and then the last one is the final castle, and it ends straight away after that.
That's it.
The first one is the Ice Cliffs, which has
Best music in the game.
hands down best music in the game. Also has bottomless pits, so for the first time there are places you can just fall and you're done. Honestly, the part that it's easiest to fall is not the bottomless pits, it's right at the very, very, very end.
Oh gosh, that's a huge pain. It's a fun way. I've lost runs that way, and it's just it's so demoralizing. But if it happens, then we get to see the moonwalking pikemen. So it's okay.
So encounter rate's pretty high in this area. I honestly feel like it's a little lower when you walk on the path than when you walk off the path.
С энкаунтерами повезло в одном месте и не везет в другом. Все, в принципе, идет к балансу вселенскому.
In terms of most to least.
Yeah.
16 daggers.
Anyone who's good at doing math and debugging with these sorts of games, we would love some help figuring out what the heck's going on in the background so we can have a good excuse to play the game more and better. So that avalanche there, even once it's past the platform, if you jump back on it too fast, the platform is still intangible and you'll just drop
Flashing
straight through.
lights.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I apologize. There we go. Sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
Yep. No, that's important to warn. You can do the down.
Приносим извинения эпилептикам.
Really awkward, and that makes the timing really strange for the jumps. And this close to the end, you just don't want to do that. So this should be the last notable flashing lights for the game, other than encounters, if I'm remembering correctly.
That is it. That's it. That's it in terms of magic charges. Yes, we're in the clear now, thankfully. And go.
Beautiful. Yeah, there's a whole section below with, again, unique enemies
Прошел
that if you don't look
лавину.
up there, you never see.
That's right. The guys who spit out the fire.
Yep.
That's a cool one.
Yep, there's some real time and effort went into this game, and honestly, the game is really well put together. There's no giant skips. There's like, it runs smoothly. It does what it's supposed to. It's just a real cool, pretty game. So
I love this game. I love this game so much. It is a hellaciously bad casual playthrough, but I really like the speedrun a lot.
The speedrun is, encounter RNG aside, so consistent. Like you know it's your fault, which can be painful, but is also like, well,
Ранее говорит, что тут весьма приятный спидран, хоть и казуально эта игра так себе, но спидран хорош весьма.
Yeah, time loss can be
И тут
RNG,
прям
but you can only
раннер
lose a run.
поймал
It's your
очень много рандом энкаунтеров. Прям
So
очень много.
time is coming up fairly soon.
Yep, so this is the final
Which is-
castle.
it-
There's an
Reebok.
entire 2
А
minutes.
сейчас уже последнее подземелье, скоро время.
Which is a
Yeah,
much
I
better
hope,
version of a skip I discovered a long time ago.
Years ago now.
Yeah.
We've both been running this
Oh.
game for like 3-4 years.
Jeez.
So.
And I never thought to try it anywhere else, which is just some absolute galaxy brain stuff. But I apologize, I can't remember the runner's name.
Odin Noah.
Odin Noah found a much better place to use it. So there's a quick little segment here. This whole castle is just random warp mirrors and spikes coming out of every surface.
This is actually a nightmare to play normally.
Yeah.
Вот здесь такой вот
There's a
лабиринтик.
segment after this where you have to ride on a cloud, but we're just going to go up through the floor instead.
All right.
The
Let's just get
cloud,
80% of the
if you
dungeon.
get knocked off, takes you back to the
А вот тут
start of this
скипосик
castle,
маленький.
and it's
So the
horrifying.
enemies don't spawn.
Yeah, the enemies don't spawn up here when you skip it. And
Тут
That's
еще
fine. We're done. Game's over.
противники не спаунят, когда вот так вот скипают.
There's no
Всё,
final boss
время.
for the record. This is it. This is the
Офигеть.
final boss.
you get a black
my
screen.
favorite.
Тут
with
даже
action.
нет последнего босса.
And that's it. It ends as it started, in pitch black with some conversation.
Oof. That was it. So yeah, so this is a fun little. This is a fun. I think we're probably.
Поздравляем тех, кто выиграл пузырики. Я снова раздаю. Кому-то ушли мои 200 пузыриков.
My PB is a 23, so didn't go great, but also RNG was so-so, execution was so-so. No axe, no golden. So there was a golden axe. The Death Adder Juniors were holding a golden axe. I don't know if y'all noticed that.
Well, and like somebody stole it, but you don't clearly get it back. You get called a chump here too.
You do. You get it. You're called an impudent chump, which is even better. And with the one swing, Axe Battler cut the darkness in two. Absolutely. Okay. I love this game. This is a game that's near and dear to my heart. It's one of the runs I've put the most work in. It's how I met Jay, and I'm just very thankful that I met a cool dude through this game, and I'm glad that we got to share this moment on GDQ.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me along to do commentary. Like it's exciting to be here, and it is always so much fun to watch you play this game. Like I said, it's a lot less stressful for me, but I get to still enjoy it, so it's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, and thanks for all your help when I originally started running this game. That was huge. Thanks for GDQ for letting me run this. Thanks for letting me escape out of the awful block. Thanks to everybody in chat for being good sports about the Game Gear. That was great.
Ранее поблагодарил организацию за то, что он избежал awful блока с этой игрой.
I don't know how many years ago now, 6 years ago or something. And this was a lot of fun. I had a great time. You can find me on twitch.tv/sharfers. If that's too much to remember, just go to beef.fish. That is also one of my website. Jay also has a great stream, very chill late night stream. Jay ? I recommend there as well.
Thank you.
But yeah, and the unique flying on an eagle sprite, which is great.
A lot of unique sprites that show up at very brief moments. Like the people who made this cared. You can tell from the music. The music's just so good all through.
This was made with love, and I can always appreciate that no matter how hard the game is. So thanks for having us, y'all, and have a great rest of the marathon. I'll be chilling in chat for sure.